Okay, so welcome to session 1, everybody, of As Yet Untitled, Lauren's big campaign. Yeah, we've done a few session zeros so far. So some people have met people, some people haven't. But as we all know, we are starting in Pensueno, in Kaldetta. But as a little introduction to the world, have a little entry text for us to get us in the moment. So I'm obsessed with just April's POV of just like hustling, like I'm doing that. But anyway, right. So 21 years ago, in an event known as the Rift, the fabric of reality was torn apart as doorways to other realms opened onto the material plane. First appearing as tricks of the light, only seen from certain angles and occupying the space in between, the rifts and all they brought with them threw the world of Uriel into chaos. Suddenly, people could travel beyond the world they were born in and experience life in the multiverse. But a door opens both ways, and denizens of the multiverse were able to make their way into Uriel, including riftlings, semi-sentient beings of unknown power who appeared alongside the rifts. But time passes, chaos becomes the norm, and the spaces in between are folded into everyday life. How exactly that happened is a long story, and an epic one, and not one that we're going to be telling in this campaign. However, we'll be following 6 smaller stories that converge in the quiet, marshy town of Pensueno at twilight on an early spring evening. Pensueno has its own larger stories, stories of saints and intrigue. For a little town with a lake on one side and a marsh on the other, only 2 taverns, a temple, and a handful of local businesses, these dark waters have seen more than they'll ever be able to tell. But for now, today, as the sun begins to set, the persistent misty rain lightens, and the town's fisherfolk bring in their final catch. We'll look closer at those 6 smaller stories, barely out of their prologues. And because we're playing D&D, let's all roll for initiative, please.
Oh my god.
Wraith, no
Okay.
way.
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't ready.
I was
I
not
don't even have my
ready,
dice out.
but I have my special dice for this character that
Aww.
Lauren gave me
Yay!
as a present.
Guys, I just rolled a nat 20.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
dude!
glad you got
Roll.
higher than me.
Start of the campaign,
Incredible.
man.
Yeah.
Now you're all gonna know what I add as well. What do I add? Oh my god.
Well, to match your nat 20, I went with nat 1.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh. Chloe,
I know what I don't know why I add a 7 to initiative.
how do you add a 7 to initiative
That's
already?
crazy.
Looked at it and was like, what?
Could you guys see the turn order on the screen? I know that April and
Oh,
Izzy
yes,
added
yes.
theirs.
I will add it in. Oh, I don't think it's letting me. Oh no, it is.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Everyone was like, wow, Chloe. And I was like, it currently says 0, so I'm not sure what we're yelling about.
It's on the
It's
chat.
I forgot how it works.
How does D&D work again? I don't remember.
Not
Who
sure.
knows?
Right, and then April's on the move.
Steph, poetically, I also got a nat 1.
Oh my god,
Hey!
twinsies!
Let's go.
Cute.
Cute. Okay, right. There we are. So, I'll pop that in for you, April, so we remember. So then we're starting with tokki. And don't worry, I'm not throwing you into combat. It's just so we can meet up with you all in a certain order. So, like I said, it's just before twilight is falling on Pensueno, so it's just before the sun sets below the horizon. It's about, you can see this little clock thing, it's about, I mean, I can't see on the little clock thing because it's so fucking small. It's just gone 5 o'clock, and it's quite humid, even though it's early spring, very early spring, it's the first day of spring. This is sort of like marshy, semi-tropical climate, so it's quite warm and humid. Oh, we've lost everyone.
Yeah.
Lies.
Okay. They're fighting out as well.
Oh no. Am I back? Oh.
Oh no.
Can we hear?
Frozen.
I think we're back. We're back.
Yeah, I can hear everyone.
We're back.
We're back.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
okay,
back.
yeah.
It did a little thing, but it's fine. But yes, I was just explaining the weather. It's humid because it's sort of semi-tropical marshy environment. It's been raining a little bit all day, but that's lightening up, and it's just before the sun begins to set over the horizon. So at about 5 o'clock on the first day of spring, where do we find Tokki?
I think Tokki's in the tavern. I think Tokki's been there the better part of
All
the day.
afternoon.
There all afternoon.
Tokki is an alcoholic. We've learned this early on.
And what tavern are you in? Because there's a couple.
Well, so I don't know if Michelle wants to stay. As we left it, Tokki and
Yeah,
Xana
yeah,
were
no.
going to the burnt match. If Xana wants to have left, that's fine. Tokki will have stayed by himself. But I think it was the burnt match.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where?
Oops, what just happened?
I think it was as well, yeah. I think that's where we were both staying, right?
Yeah,
it is
and
the
I
burnt
think we
match.
just went back and got a little drink.
Cool.
Yeah, I
So
think
I've
Xana's...
sorry.
Sorry, go on.
No, so I've moved you onto the Pensueno page. So Tokki, you could put yourself at the burnt match if you want, which is number
Ooh.
8.
Okay. Here I am.
Woo! Awesome. So yeah, the burnt match it's kind of a more local kind of pub. It's only got 3 rooms upstairs. It's sort of more of a B&B than a tavern, to be fair, but a lot of the locals kind of drink here. And as it's getting towards the end of the workday, people have been sort of coming in. Sort of the farmers come in first. The townkeeper, kind of a big man with red hair, whose name I have forgotten, but I think is Refuso. Comes in as well and kind of nods to you. Tokki sees you there, and then when he buys his drink, he doesn't come up and talk to you, but he'll kind of sit in one corner. We're talking to some people and raise a drink to you as he sees you in the corner that you're sitting in. But yeah, Tokki's just kind of been sitting there, kind of like chilling or just drinking or reading. I'll bring in Michelle as well. So like, what has Xana been doing?
I think Xana's there catching up with Tokki. That's helpful.
Nice. So yeah, what are you guys doing?
I think we're just catching up.
Catching
having
up.
a
It's been
drink.
a lot has happened.
Yeah.
A lot has happened. We've had a
Nice.
little bit of a stressful day.
Yes, a little bit. It's been a little bit eventful already. So yeah,
Mhm.
Xana, you can put your little person let's narrate as well if you want on the map. And yeah, the mayor seeing you as well, like he'll kind of wave and raise his, or not mayor, sorry, the keeper, raise his mug to you too. Cool, so we'll leave you guys there chatting, drinking, catching up, and we'll move over to Harvey. Harvey, where are you in Pensueno? What have you been up to?
Hello. Javi's only been in Pensueno, I want to say a couple of days, if that. He is staying at the Black Trumpet, but at this kind of time, is the marketplace still open, or is it kind of
No, so the marketplace
shopping?
is only open every like 3rd day of the week, which is Worcester or Wednesday, and today it's Monday basically. So it's open in a
It's
couple of
weirdly
days, so it's just empty
specific marketplace.
stalls. Yes, yeah. But there are like
No
shops
problem.
and stuff as well. Like there's like a bakery, there's a general goods store. There's sort of normal stuff you'd find, and then every Wednesday the market kind of rolls in, and it's like, you know, a rotation of traders that have different goods and things.
No problem. Then he is just in the Black Trumpet.
Nice.
Probably. How far out from market day are we? What day of the week are we
2
on?
days, so we're kind of on like Monday, and then it happens on a Wednesday.
Solid. So yeah, he's probably tagging around waiting for market day, if anything else. So
Hmm.
having a bit of food, bit of drink in the Black
Nice.
Trumpet.
Cute. Nice one. Did you want to move yourself to the Black Trumpet? Is number 2, I believe, on the map.
I shall. Thank you.
Cute. Yeah, the Black Trumpet is more busy than the Burnt Match. You've probably not been in the Burnt Match. It's a little ways out of town. Depending on the kind of way you came into Pensueno, you might have walked past it. But the Burnt Match is the Black Trumpet is definitely more kind of hostely vibes. Like, it caters to the travelers that do come through Pensueno. So there's private rooms, there's dorms and stuff. I think we chatted. I think you've got a kind of single private room. Is that right? Can't remember actually.
Yeah, single private room for Javi.
Nice. Yeah. And yeah, downstairs it's like long benches, kind of 4 or 5 long benches, and then some little booths around the walls of the Black Trumpet. And there's kind of a single like waitress who's sort of serving everyone, but it's not too busy. It's not got to sort of like dinner time yet. So there's a few people that are coming in early and getting some food, getting some drinks. And is that sort of what you're doing? Just sort of, chilling, getting some food, or just people watching? What you doing down there?
Yeah, probably just people watching. He's here by himself. He doesn't know anyone. He's content to keep it that way.
Nice one. Cute. So over to Alanis. What are you doing?
I think she is in the marketplace, even though it's not set up. And she's found a little perch somewhere, and she's just sitting, people watching people go by.
Nice one. The marketplace is number 1, if you wanted to put yourself there. And yeah, it's, even though kind of the market stalls themselves aren't set up, all those buildings kind of around where it says number 1, they've been open and stuff, and people have been going in and out of them, chatting. Like, you can tell quite easily from watching that Pensueno is, because it's such a small town, you can quite easily identify who is a local versus who is traveling through based on who they kind of greet. You kind of see the locals will stop and talk to every single person they know before going out about their day. Like, it must take them forever to get stuff done. And you're kind of perched sort of like, there's trees around, there's a few benches and stuff. Where do you think Alanis is kind of perched?
Oh, she's up a tree.
Love that. Cute. Just sort of kicking her legs up a tree. Sometimes people look at you, a few kids are kind of like, oh my gosh, look, but then like sort of people carry on with their day. They kind of wave back. And yeah, you see all sorts of people come in and go in. You know where Xana is. So Wraith, where are you?
Wraith is also in the Black Trumpet, but up in her room with Wrath, probably, who slept the morning away. So Wraith has returned and is catching Wrath up on all that he missed.
Nice one.
Well, she went out swimming for the day.
Love it. So yeah, would you agree, Wrath? You're kind of up in that shared room that you've got together.
Yes, yes.
Nice, cool. I'll put you next.
I just got back. Perfect.
Excellent stuff. I'll put you on this side of the because I think you'll be at the general good store. Amazing. So that's where all our characters are around the town, conveniently quite spread out, despite the batch event to meet, form a party, save the world, whatever. So, like I say, it's getting to just nearing sunset. And I suppose we'll kick things off at the burnt match, because just as kind of a few more people come through the door, there is sort of a tiny commotion coming from sort of just outside the tavern, and you hear kind of Xana and tokki, you hear sort of like thumping of feet, like someone running, and then a few people kind of exclaim and someone says something like watch where you're going, but then there's laughter. Like, it seems to be sort of not a genuine tense moment, but there is something going on, and it catches your attention. You turn towards the door, and you see a small herringon standing in the doorway. Herringons being kind of like rabbit people. This one, she looks to be fairly young, maybe early teenage years. She's got kind of one ear, like one brown ear that kind of stands up, and the other one sort of flops down, and she's just sort of kind of a sort of milky brown kind of all across her body, but she's got a few kind of white patches, and she looks around wildly, scanning the room, looking for someone. And tokki, you recognize this as your cousin Loon.
I'll wave over and I'll be like, hi Loon, hi.
She kind of like jumps a few times, her ears sort of twitching, and then she comes running over to you, and she's like, Uncle Tokki, and she looks so excited. She's like vibrating. She's not talking. She's just like buzzing with energy.
Hi, it's nice to see you. What's going on?
And then she's kind of like, the baby's here, the baby's here, the baby came yesterday. Mum and Dad didn't want to tell you
baby!
yet because they wanted some time, but the baby's here. I've got a little sister, another one.
Oh, amazing. What's her name?
Her name is Sue.
Cute. Is she cute?
She's so cute. She's got the tiniest little ears, the little whiskers. She's amazing. Mum and Dad let me hold her, but I didn't hold her for too long because everyone else wanted to hold her and look at her. And then Mum and Dad said that you probably want to hold her and look at her as well. But she's still such a tiny, tiny baby, so maybe you could come over in a couple of days.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, I'll come over. Maybe I'll bring some food in. You parents probably don't want to be cooking, but yeah, I would love to come and see her.
Amazing, amazing. I can't wait, Uncle Tokki, for you to meet her. They said, does Worcester work for coming to see?
Worcester, yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'll be there then for dinner or lunch or
Yes, I think they said dinner.
breakfast.
But they said, yeah, they said about food, it might not be much, but just to come and look and see her in the evening.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. Look after her in the meantime.
And then she like straightened. She's like, I will, of course. I have to take care while Mum's recovering and Dad's helping. I'll take care of everyone.
Good girl.
So cute.
And she sort of like thumps her feet. And then she sees Xana and she kind of like looks you up and down. She's like, you're cool.
You're cool too. Hi, what's your name?
Oh, I'm Loon.
Hi, Loon. I'm Xana.
Hi. And she
Xana's
just
a
grins.
friend of mine from Basmoor.
Oh, that's what. Oh, Mum and Dad told me about that. But she's like looking around, and she's like, "I want to go back and see the baby." And then she kind of like thumps around, and she's like grinning, sort of like excited child who's been given a job to send a message, and is like, "I'm so fucking important." And she kind of looks around, and then she kind of looks outside, and her face kind of drops, and she looks back at you. She's like,
What's wrong?
"Well, I mean, it's getting a bit dark."
You want me to walk you home?
And then she sort of like wants to say no because she wants to be grown up and brave, but she's like, maybe.
I mean, I could go for a walk. We've been sitting here all
I could use
afternoon.
some fresh air. For sure.
Yeah,
Been here a while.
let's go for a walk.
Okay.
You're doing us a favour, giving us an excuse to go for a walk.
Yeah, we need it.
And so she kind of like jumps around, and then begins to kind of turn around and go outside, kind of leading you to. As she kind of like leaves the room, goes to leave, the like innkeeper who you've spoken to loads of times from having stayed here of the burnt match, kind of says like congratulations on the baby, and says kind of make sure you get home before sundown. And Loon's kind of like yes. And they begin to leave. Flashing over to Wrath and Wraith, what exactly have you guys sort of been doing? I know you said you've been talking, catching up and everything, but have you got any sort of plans, any ideas for what exactly you want to be doing in town?
Wraith is sort of following Wrath's lead on research, and following the trail ends and just making sure that we are fed and have money in the meantime.
Nice. Wrath, what's been going on?
I think he's gonna go. What time of the day is it now?
It's about 5 o'clock.
5
The sun's literally just about to set.
I think it's it's happy hour right now. I'm gonna pause research and go get some drinks.
Amazing. You've maybe been like looking over a few books. There's sort of this like rolled up scroll of something in the corner that you've kind of been keeping half an eye on, and you sort of like make sure that's still there, and then do you sort of suggest to your sister?
Oh,
Before we go down, brother, there may be something we should talk about.
What would that be?
Your knight in shining armor's here. As in town.
Which one?
And yeah, with
How
that
many were
description,
there?
you're not quite sure who Wraith, is exactly talking about. This person was quite different when you
You're
met them
gonna have to
before.
be much clearer.
Honestly, I thought we'd left these habits behind, but apparently not.
I mean, consistency is key. Let's go.
Is the bunny thing?
My good friend, let's go! Okay, let's go! Oh, it's been so long.
Speaking
Wrath
of,
runs.
oh god.
Yeah, Wraith's like, one more thing, and Wrath is down the stairs. So running downstairs, you enter the kind of main tavern room, and in there immediately you see a face that you do recognize. So as the first person to do it so far, Javi, do you want to describe yourself and what your character looks like?
Yeah, Javi is a young man. He is probably more well put together than the last time you saw him, Wrath. Nice, clean, crisp, puffy white shirt for him. He has got brown skin, smattering of freckles across his face, wild curly hair that looks like he's never tried to control it in his life. More buttons undone on his shirt than probably needs to be in this tavern.
Amazing. And as you turn around, I think you notice kind of someone come running down the stairs, and you sort of turn your head in curiosity, and you see Wrath. So, April, could you please describe what Wrath looks like?
Okay. You see a tall man, like, sprinting into the room, like, hearts in his eyes. Warm skin tone, long, dark red hair that's blowing in the wind he's created running. Red, kind of cat-like eyes. And horns. He has small little fangs. Black nails and rather extra large black wings. He has like black veins crawling up his arm, some like tattoos in a foreign script on his chest. He also has an unnecessary amount of buttons undone of his like black silk shirt. His fingers are adorned in rings. Like, he should not have just woken up like this, but he has. Got like a large hooded black cloak, leather gloves. He's got like winged smoky coal eyeliner on to accentuate his eyes, and like highlighter. He's doing the most. What else have I said? And like a lot of earrings. He's got like chains hanging from his horns. Like, who the fuck turns up like this? But yeah, and he's currently just frozen, looking across the room.
Wraith comes stomping down the stairs after him.
Yeah.
Stomping gracefully.
Yes,
Gently,
of
delicately
course.
stomping.
Yes, so delicately stomping down. Harvey, you see Wraith. So Steph, do you want to describe your character, please?
Sure. Wraith looks the mirror image of Wrath, who's standing just in front of her, except female and minus the backlight wings. She has the same long red hair, but it's braided up in sort of crown coronet, with her dark horns arching over the top. The same sort of dark tan skin tone and the red cat-like eyes. Unlike her brother, she's got maybe not quite so glam rock makeup, but she's still neatly put together, dressed in sort of rich colours that look a bit faded. So a sort of faded teal top, a thick scarf around her neck. The black shirt she's wearing has red ribbons sort of tied up the sleeves to keep it out the way. And she does not have the same jewelry that her brother does. In fact, she's not wearing any jewelry except barring a ring on her finger. And that's right.
Love it.
Mirror image.
Amazing. So yeah, Harvey, you turn and you see these two people coming down the stairs.
Has Wrath have we clocked each other, me and Wrath?
I'm like staring. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye.
Oh no!
Not
Well,
staring.
yeah,
That's
no. I was staring, like heart eyes at you. It's just like pink, blushing.
Harvey will just for you to come over if you want.
I sprint and like
Oh,
hug you.
cute. I mean, he's sitting down, but you can scoop him up. if
I'm
you
just
want.
like,
He's
side
small.
hug. It's been too long. How long has it been? Genuinely out of game. How long has it been?
Out of game. Oh,
A
a
month?
week.
Oh, okay, it's been it's been a week since we last saw each other.
It feels like
How
it's
are
been
you
a month.
doing? Indeed, it's an eternity waiting without you, honestly.
I'm all right. How have you been?
Your voice sounds incredible.
Thank you. It's new. Not new. I should have been doing it last time.
You didn't sound like this before. No. Oh gosh. I'm good. Oh, have you met my sister? This is my sister.
I have not. And he'll hold a hand out to Wraith to shake. He
Wraith.
feels very blindsided right now.
So does a wraith. She's got a sort of very blank expression on her face, but she'll turn to her brother briefly to Wrath and say, "This was not the one I was talking about." But she'll extend her hand,
Yes,
but not to
I
shake.
wasn't expecting
She's
this.
going to extend her hand like a "you may kiss."
Oh. If that's the way that you present your hand, Harvey absolutely will. He'll do a little bow and a little kiss of your hand.
But you've got them well trained, I admit, brother.
Always. You know me. Who are you expecting?
Who are you talking to? Sorry.
Oh, you.
Me.
Sister, who are you expecting?
The one with the ears. The
Again,
bunny
you've
thing.
got to be more specific. Oh,
The bunny thing.
my dear, they've been around it. Oh, it's a small world. Who could have predicted that bump into so many people today? Gosh,
Small world
where
of
was
massive
that?
sex drive.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep that between us. Oh gosh, that bastard. He's been exposed.
Harvey does not know what to do.
Wraith will gesture to the bartender. And I believe we need some wine if you do not mind. And she'll sit right down.
Nice. Nice one. She kind of gives you a thumbs up. She's like, red or white?
Red.
Cool.
Thank you.
And she nods and kind of goes away to get it. And you can see now she's kind of got eyes on everyone that's like in the room. Like she's like, okay, 2 more people have just entered. I think people are going to be coming in. And she's like, I am on my own, and I think we're about to hit the evening rush. And she's like handling it well. She's like professional. So we'll leave you through there, sitting down. You've got some wine now. We'll go back out to Alanis, sitting in a lovely little tree. And Alanis, you do see a few people kind of head in towards that tavern, the Black Trumpet, which I think, is that where you're staying? I think, did you say?
Yeah.
Nice.
But she's in a hostel room.
Yes, nice. So you're sharing. So I'll say that you kind of recognise some of the people that are heading in there, because it is mostly people that are like travellers that have been staying there, and the locals are sort of heading a little bit further out down the road along to the burnt match. And some people, are you sort of hiding in the tree? Would some people see you if they recognised you?
Yeah, she's not hiding. She like. Yeah, she's up a tree, so if they looked up and they saw her, she would greet them.
Nice. And yeah, some people do. And yeah, some people kind of wave at you. There's like a sort of young dwarf who looks to be wearing sort of like semi-religious acolyte clothing. They kind of they're staying in your dorm, and you know they've sort of traveled here on a pilgrimage to the temple of Santa Perdita, who is a saint of like disease and decay and very much like living natural cycles. And she has a temple here in town, because this is where she is from, and so this is a place of pilgrimage for people. So you know this younger dwarf is kind of on that, and they sort of like wave up at you before they go into the bet match to not the bet match, sorry, the black trumpet, to get some food and drink. And as you're sort of looking around, you see 3 more people enter the square. You see, well, how long have you been in town?
Probably like a week.
Nice. So I'd say you've seen a fair few herringon around here before. Not one of these particular ones, tokki, but you've seen a few sort of like working the fishing boats, just sort of walking around town and stuff. And you see a younger herringon coming into town, leading by hand. She's got in hand an older herringon, and another person. So we'll start with tokki. As Alanis sees you, what does Alanis see?
Yeah, so Tokki is a herringon, just kind of rabbit person. He is mostly white with some brown patches. He's got a little heart-shaped patch over his right eye. Kind of short. Like I imagine the young herringon is almost as tall as me. A lot of that is ears as well. But wearing a like armor that's kind of a little bit beat up. It doesn't look like it was specially made for him. With a sword at his side, and yeah, following this younger herringon.
Nice. And then just behind Xana, what do you look like? What does Alana see?
So Alana sees a sea elf, who's got like very pale skin with almost like a green undertone to it. And she's got like this like shock of black hair that like goes all the way down her back, and it almost looks like permanently wet. Like she's like just been underwater. And she is wearing this like tunic that kind of ripples at the bottom of the skirt in a way that makes it almost look like snow. And there's like little trinkets that are like kind of like sewed into her clothing, like bits of sea glass and like shells and just like a lot of ocean theme happening. And she has like a flute on her back.
Love it. Amazing. So as you guys enter the main square, Loon, who has been holding your hand, Tokki, and leading the way, even though you know where you're going, but she's taking charge. She just wanted the company. She kind of stops still and looks around.
Is something wrong?
She's kind of like, her foot kind of stomps again, and she's like, "There's a really pretty lady in the tree."
Oh. Do you want to go say hello to her?
Oh, I don't know, but she's probably happy there. And you look over to where she's pointing. And Alanis, what do Tokki and Xana see? What do you look like?
Is this tall wood elf? She's got really long, like so blonde, it's kind of almost white hair that's like plaited up and then cascading down her back. She's like swinging her feet just kind of happily. If she clocks them staring, she'll give like a little wave. And she's got like a longbow just strapped to her back. And
Oh, what? Sorry?
A longbow.
Nice.
Amazing. So yeah, you do definitely clock them staring, sort of more the younger herringon leading the way. And as you wave, the herringon will sort of like stiffen almost shyly, and then we'll wave as well. Wave back at you.
I'll wave as well. Yeah.
The cycle of waving.
Loon will kind of sort of be like, look around, and then we'll ask you, Tokki. We'll say, how long do you think we've got till the sun goes down?
Do I have any idea?
Roll a nature check.
It's gonna be a 21.
Nice. You'd say that there's probably 10 minutes before the sun properly goes down.
We've probably got another good 10 minutes. Want to
uh,
go talk to the lady in the tree?
She's like, oh, she does have such cool hair. And then she's sort of like, oh, if I run, it won't take me that long to get home. And she's like, I don't know where I'm now. It's just down the road. But
We'll run with you. Let's go. Let's go.
I love
somewhere.
running.
Okay. She's just got such cool hair.
I love running.
I love running.
I do. I'm a runner.
He's a track star. He does running. It's in your backstory.
I'm an athlete.
But yeah, Loon will be like, okay, I need to get back, but I want to ask her how she does her hair. And you kind of go over with her.
Xana will be like, do you want to get up closer to her and like crouch down and
Cute!
to like hop on Xana's shoulders?
Yes, she will. She will hop on your shoulders. And she is sort of roughly the same size as Tokki. A little bit like smaller, like daintier, I suppose. For being like younger, sort of preteen.
How tall is Tokki actually?
He's 5'5".
He's a short king, right?
He's a short king, yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that Loon is probably like 5'3" or something, but like a lot slimmer, kind of like child, and so jumps on your shoulders, and then yeah, Alanis, you are greeted pretty much kind of head height, with this little herringon.
Hello.
Hi. Why are you in the tree?
Oh, I've missed them. I grew up in trees, and there's not many trees in cities, so it's nice to find one when I can.
There's a few trees around here. If you go that way, and she kind of points north, she's like, there's a whole forest of trees. And if you go that way, and she kind of points sort of like towards the west, she's like, there's so many trees. They've built a whole city within them.
Ooh, I like the city and the trees.
It's
Maybe
really
I'll go there
cool.
next.
It's called Kaldetta.
Oh, that's where I came from.
Oh.
But it was very nice.
I've not been there. I'm not old enough to go yet. Sometimes Mum and Dad go, but I've not been with them. You must have come from loads of trees.
Yes, loads of trees all over the place.
As Loon is chatting away to Alanis about trees, what are Tokki and Xana doing?
When she said Kaldetta, does Xana know where that is?
Yes, that's the capital city of the country.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's about sort of 7 days journey from here.
I think Xana's quite curious about the girl in the tree as well. I think she'll be like, yeah, I can relate to like wanting to be near parts of nature that you can't find here normally. For me, that's the rivers around here, but trees are nice too.
Do you come from the river?
I come from an island off of Kaldetta, so the river is the closest I can find to water that I'm familiar with.
What brings you to not the island?
Xana sort of looks at Tokki, and then she looks back, and then she's like, I'm looking for answers. It's a long story.
I get it.
I'm Tokki.
I'm looking for a solution too. Oh, I'm Alanis.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Xana.
Sorry, you were saying.
Oh, no, just that I'm looking for a solution too. It's a long story. It's not a long story. I have to find something good to take back to my clan and be an adult. And I haven't found anything.
Something good.
But I'll find it.
What qualifies as good?
Yeah.
Something that will improve the life of the clan. It can be a skill, it can be a thing. But I'm not good at anything and I haven't found anything. So it's been a long journey.
Sounds like you just haven't found the thing you're good at yet.
Yeah.
Maybe. Thank you.
My cousin thinks you're really good at braiding hair. I think she wanted to ask how you did it.
And Lynn starts nodding. She's been like watching this like tennis, watching you guys talk.
It's just over and under and over. Does Loon have like any hair?
Not, she has a
Or, like,
little
long
bit,
enough?
but not long enough. Like in kind of between her ears, there's sort of like a fringe kind of thing that kind of comes down. And then yeah, not that much.
Okay.
You could do it with grass stalks, Loon.
And then I could put them in my hair.
You could.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's so
Alanis can
cool.
show you how.
Oh, Mum
I
and
can
Dad
show
say
you
that
how.
she didn't. Oh wow.
Immediately, no stranger danger.
As Loon starts looking around, she kind of shuffles, and Xana, you get the idea she wants to get down. As she starts looking around for grass, and then she's like, "No, I have to get home. I have to get home." As she looks up at you, Alana, she's like, "Will you still be in the tree tomorrow?"
Not in the tree, but you know what? If you come to the Black Trumpet, I'll be there.
Okay, the Black Trumpet. Okay, I'll ask Mum and Dad. Be careful getting down the tree, because my brother broke his arm once, and that was really scary, but Mum patched him up, and he's fine now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And she kind of looks around, and then she kind of sees someone enter across the market space. And Alanis, just in the tree, you get sort of a wider view of the market space than anyone else. But you see she kind of makes eye contact with an older Harangon who has just come into the space. And he looks to be kind of sort of late 30s, maybe sort of fully grey fur. He's got kind of green eyes, and he's just wearing sort of like normal sort of clothing you've seen people wear around town. He's got kind of like quite a tired expression on his face, and his long kind of grey ears, he has like a single like piercing, like a hoop piercing in one of them. And he looks around and he's like, "Loon, where are you? You said you'd be back a while ago. Your mother's worried, dear. We should probably get home." And then he's like, "Tokki."
Hi, sorry, my fault. I was walking her home and we got distracted.
"Oh, no worries." And he like looks up and sees you in the tree. Alanis, he's like, "Fair enough." And he kind of like waves to you, Alanis, and to you, Xana. He's like, "Oh, I'm Dava. Loon is my daughter, but I'd love to stay and chat, but I should probably be getting back to the wife and the kids. Tokki, did Loon say?" And Loon's like, "I passed on the message, and Tokki is coming in 2 days."
Congratulations!
Dava's like, "Oh, thank you.
I will be there.
Thank you so much." He comes in for like a hug quickly, and he's like, "Oh, we're so happy.
Yeah,
we
we
can't
have a
wait for you
quick
to meet her." But he kind of grabs Loon's hand. He's like, "Come on, you. Like, we need to get back before the sun goes down." And Loon like nods. She's like, "I'll meet you in the Black Trumpet tomorrow," to you, Alanis. And Dava's like,
See you then.
cocks an eyebrow, but like wanders away.
Oh, don't worry, I'm friendly.
Amazing. So these two Haragons kind of leave your company, and we'll flash back to the group inside the Black Trumpet. And so you guys have ordered some red wine. It's only been kind of a couple of minutes, and the waitress had kind of delivered it. Whoever wants to pay for it, that costs, like, you've kind of got a carafe of wine. It's like not a carafe, it's a jug of red wine, and it costs about, like, I think, wait, hold on a sec. 9 silver pieces. Just doing conversions, which are very simple, but I forgot them in my head. Whoever wants to pay for that. With 3 glasses. And you all hear, all of you, like the people in the tavern, the people outside the tavern by the tree, you all start to hear as the sun literally begins to like crest the horizon, bells ring out across town. Sort of there's some coming from the north, from the temple, from the east, which is from sort of like the assembly hall, which is the closest place has like to a town hall, and then also from some places around like near the docks. These bells begin to chime across town, and the waitress inside the tavern who'd been kind of serving people kind of delivers some people some food, and she stands up. Yes, this is just as the sun's just starting to set, like literally made contact with the horizon. And the waitress puts some food down, and then like looks to the windows and kind of mutters like, she's kind of like, oh shit, under her breath. And she kind of like puts the food down and then will run back sort of into the kitchen. And then outside, you guys see people sort of look around, and some people go back inside buildings. Some people that were sort of going somewhere kind of hasten to get to where they were going. And as you look around, you see every single building puts a candle in the window and lights it as these bells start ringing. And Wrath, Javi, and Wraith, you see the waitress runs out and she's got a box of candles that she runs to. And first you're kind of like, oh, she's probably going to put them on the tables. Don't see why there's the urgency, but nice places do that. But she runs instead to all of the windows in the tavern, and starts putting out these kind of pillar candles, and she'll light them one by one with some matches as she goes around. And all of you kind of watch, and there's sort of like a beat as you watch people light these candles, and then simultaneously across town, even the candles you can't see will sputter and then turn blue instead of the sort of normal yellowy orange flame color.
Can Xana and Tokki still outside, right?
Yes, I think you're still with Alanis.
Do we know what this is?
You don't. You've not seen this. So you guys have been here for a little bit longer than the other people, especially Tokki. I think you've been here longest, a couple of weeks. You've not seen this like behavior.
Can we grab just the nearest person to us, like who's
Yeah.
hastening off, and just be like, "Hey, what are the bells about?"
Yeah, so you grab someone. They're just sort of like kind of young gnomish man who sort of looks to be heading kind of in the direction of the burnt match. And he looks around and he's like, oh, you must be travelers. So the candles there, they've been blessed by the sisters of Perdita, and they're lit because of the spirits.
The spirits.
Yeah. And he's kind of like, yeah, being vague, like, he's like, you know, the spirit, have you not, the spirits in town, the ghosts?
I don't think we're familiar.
Oh.
We're not
We
been
s-
here that long.
We saw a ghost earlier, but it was. Oh no, we didn't. Ignore
No,
me.
that was
No, I haven't seen any ghosts.
He's like, oh, and then he's like, that's strange. They don't come out until kind of after dark when the moon is, and he'll kind of point up, and he's like, well, you can't see it because it's a new moon, and that's kind of when they come out. And he sort of looks around, and you see he was kind of with some friends that are sort of like, come on, but not in a sort of we need to hurry the fuck up, in a sort of like, dude, we were gonna go get drinks. Why are you talking to these people? And he's sort of like, okay, so every month some spirits come out and we light the candles because the sisters of Petita said that we should when there's a new moon, and as the light begins to fade and the sun sets, we just light the candles to help.
to help the spirits.
Yeah, and I guess to help us. I'm not super sure why we do it, but the sister said we should, so I do. I mean, I live with my parents, and I think Mum's lit theirs. I'm sure the tavern we're going to has lit all of their ones as well.
do we need to be worried about the spirits? Are they dangerous?
I don't think so. I mean, they've mostly been nice and friendly. I think if you kind of go looking for scary ones, they might not be pleasant, but in town they seem fine.
Xana just looks at Tokki with like a raised eyebrow, like, what is this weird town? that
I'm
we've
just gonna
stumbled
give you
into?"
like an I have no idea look.
They're just like shrugging at each other over this gnome's head.
Just like, why did my family leave so quickly?
Well, thank you for your time.
No worries. Have a good one. And he'll sort of rejoin his friends and they'll sort of head off towards the pub. Back inside the Black Trumpet, you see this as well. You see all of the candles that have been lit around the room. And there's like other candles in the space. Like there's sort of candles. There are some candles on some of the booths. There's candles sort of lighting the walls. Those candles don't sputter. Just the ones that have been put in the windows sputter intensely. You three see.
Wraith will not react to it necessarily, but she'll just reach out her hand and sort of hook her arm through her brother's and then sort of watch what happens.
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say Harvey's gonna approach the barkeep lady. If he has to get up and go over to her, that's fine.
Yes.
Cool. And he'll say, "Scusi, what is this?"
The candles, love. Yeah, so sorry, we were gonna put a thing out for the guests because you guys probably haven't been here long enough to see them before, but someone called in sick and I just haven't had the time. But yeah, the candles, that's just something we do once a month when it gets to the new moon. We've been doing it for about half a year, but do you know the temple here? Of this temple of Santa Perdita? Have you come across that yet?
No.
So the sisters kind of help run the town. They're sort of our religious, spiritual guidance. And months ago, like kind of last autumn, one night, some kind of spirit ghosts showed up in town, which was unusual. But the sisters kind of took charge and helped us and got things under control. And they say that if we, every new moon, just as it enters twilight, we light a candle in every window, it will kind of attract the benevolent ones and ward off the more malevolent spirits. So it's nothing really to be freaked out by. Like I say, sorry, we were going to kind of share something to all the guests, but just didn't get a chance. But yeah, it looks a bit creepy. We're all a bit like, whoa, the candles have gone blue the first time it happened. But yeah, you're all good.
Right, and are we able to go outside?
Yeah,
no?
of course. So you might have some people hustling around. That's just to make sure that they light the candle on. Some people leave it a little bit late and then panic because they're like, "Is a ghost gonna get in my house?" But no, it's all good, and we lit the candles in time, so it's fine.
He's gonna. Sorry, Ray.
You're talking. I'm not.
I'm so sorry. I was just gonna say, can he go up to a window and like see if he can see anything going on?
Yeah, go for it. Roll a perception check. And while you're rolling, what were you gonna say, Steph?
Wraith wasn't part of that conversation, so I'm not going to butt in.
Fair enough.
That's a non-nat 20 for me, Lauren.
Nice one, amazing. So what do you see? You can see from the window. You can probably make out, just because the rain's been like lightning and it's not like dark yet, because twilight is that space where the sun has set below the horizon, but there is still light. So you can see actually a kind of across the way towards the temple. You do see a few sort of ethereal figures sort of roaming around kind of the point on the map where like the island drops off and you have to kind of cross a bridge, and then you get the temple, which is number 4. You do see a few sort of ethereal figures kind of moving around, and then with the 20 you kind of notice a little bit closer actually at the docks. There appears to be sort of this one very, very faint figure that you probably wouldn't have seen unless you were kind of deliberately looking, and looking very well. This figure who seems to be stepping out of like an invisible fishing boat, and then will kind of sling something over their shoulder and walk up the dock, as if this person is like returning from a day home fishing.
I don't know. Okay, cool. He'll go and rejoin Wrath and Wraith.
Nice.
Overhearing that conversation, Wraith is just going to be watching her brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wrath, what are you doing? Are you there, April? Ooh.
Her video's
Oh, no.
loading.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I've not been able to see a video, but I thought it was just kind of glitching. Oh. Ooh.
Hello?
Hello. Oh
Yes.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Have you been able to
Sorry.
hear us and everything?
Yeah, I've been able to hear you.
Oh.
I didn't realise my audio stopped working.
Oh no.
Oh.
That's alright. That's alright. We can hear you now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What is Wrath doing? Like Steph said, kind of overhearing that conversation about spirits and things and ghosts.
I feel like Wraith and Wrath go to reach for each other at the same time.
Mm.
Like without even looking, like my arm is like around my sister. I'm like looking behind us, kind of paranoid.
Mm.
Do I sense anything changing with like spirits?
Yeah. Roll
Based
me
on-
an intelligence saving throw.
Oh gosh. Okay. Watching out terribly. 17.
17. So no, that's good. So you did feel, and because you're inside, you wouldn't be able to correlate it, but it would have been literally just as the sun dipped below the horizon and twilight happened and all these candles sputtered, you would have felt sort of a rush of energy, similar to the energy you kind of would have felt at home growing up. But you kind of shrugged it off, and whether it's, you know, seeing Harvey again, and like you have been feeling things like that, that's why you kind of were drawn to this place. You felt this kind of feeling. You kind of managed to shake it off, and you maybe don't dwell too much into it until you overhear what the waitress says and you put two and two together.
Alright, I relay that to my sister.
I know you've been feeling weird, but this space is super weird.
Are you guys like talking quietly or? Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I'm muttering in his ear.
Yeah, this is what
Harvey, you see them sort of just like. Pss, 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 pss.
I just
Alright.
turned my head very quietly.
Sorry, April.
We'll join you in on that. We'll be like, is this normal around here? I don't know. Do you tell us what you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, I thought you might have overheard it, but if not, I will let you know what the bartender has said. But I've only been here a few days, and I've not seen like anything like this before.
I doubt we can say the same. What did bring you here, Harvey?
Oh, I'm just traveling around the country between towns, not going anywhere in particular.
Insight check.
Go for it. And yeah, roll perception, not perception, persuasion or deception, depending on what one.
Oh, I ain't gonna know. It's a 7. I'm just enraptured by your eyes. I can't tell. I want to know if you're telling the truth. But...
he's he's kind of half telling the truth. I mean, you know, like he's already told you like what he's traveling for. Wrath, like he's doing his best to get some gold to get his is surgery the right word, Lauren? Let's say surgery.
Yeah, let's say surgery.
But he gets the vibe that Wraith doesn't like him, so she doesn't want to give too much away.
Me?
She's a little bit intimidating and a little bit cold.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Amazing. What was that, April? Sorry, I spoke over you.
Oh no, sorry, I was just saying she's so soft. I don't know what you mean.
Let's get to
about
know
that.
her. Cool. So hopping outside to the three people, one of them in the tree. What have you guys sort of been doing as this useless man has delivered you nowhere near the amount of information that the lady in the inn was able to say?
Oh, go ahead.
There you go.
No.
I was just gonna say, like, do we see any spirits? Can we see anything, or do we just literally see lights?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
Should we both roll?
Yes, go for it. And if you want to as well, Alanis, if you're looking around as well. But yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
a 16 from me.
Nice.
17.
12.
Nice one. Cool. So Xana, you kind of look around, and even with kind of the lowest perception, you see as well. You see people, figures. They're very. I mean, they're ghosts. Like they like look like they did when they died. Like, you know, gnome, tiefling, dwarf, human, whatever. But they are like see-through. And they're not kind of cloudy in the way sort of like Scooby-Doo ghost is. It's almost like water, maybe, in the way that like things are distorted when you look through water, and some of them have a bit more dimension to them than others. So some very much just sort of a ripple that seems to be kind of passing around town, and you all see these sort of ripples now you're looking for them, but you do see some that are a bit more like fully formed, and that it's easier to make out a shape based on kind of what they're obscuring around them rather than what they actually look like themselves. And so like Tokki and Alanis especially, actually, because you're kind of in the journey, you're a bit higher up, but you both looking around, Xana, you see those kind of ripples around town, or Xana, sorry. And then Tokki and Alanis, you see sort of, if you look kind of towards the east, which is like towards number 6 on the map, which is the Veiled Lady, that is kind of like the local cemetery. And you see over there, like none of these things kind of give off light, but as you look over towards the cemetery, there appears to be just sort of this larger ripple of something, like, you know, when it's really hot and there's that wave of heat coming off the pavement and it kind of ripples, you kind of see that across the graveyard. And then you do sort of see a few of these more sort of fully formed ones walking kind of towards the temple. You see like some people that look like they might have been travelers, maybe, like people coming through town rather than locals. You see someone with sort of like a great sword kind of strapped to their back. This sort of like quite like bulky elven guy walking through town. And so yeah, you do see a few of these kind of spirits.
Alanis, have you ever seen this before?
But I've never seen ghosts.
Us neither.
I wonder why they're here.
Yeah, weird. Nobody. I mean, people just. No, I would have thought my family might have mentioned it. Like,
Family
clearly.
seem very lovely, but very chaotic. So maybe they.
I mean, they did
forgot to
literally
mention.
have a baby yesterday. I just thought Lou was
bet.
scared of the dark. I didn't think there was ghosts gonna come out. I didn't feel the need to ask any more questions. Are there any like near us? I feel like I might. I'm gonna see if a ghost. I'm gonna try and talk to one of the ghosts.
Let's go talk to a ghost.
Nice.
Alanis, you want to come talk to a ghost?
I would love to go talk to a ghost. I'm gonna hop out the tree.
Go.
Cute. So as you guys are looking around, I'll say that as you sort of get out the tree, hop out the tree and kind of walk around, I'll say that you actually see the one by the docks that Harvey was looking at. So this sort of human figure who appears to be like just stepping out of a boat. An invisible boat. You can't see the boat, but from his motions, you get that that's what he's doing.
Just gonna walk up and do a little wave and say, "Hello."
As you sort of get in his path, it's kind of like he sort of goes to keep walking, and then it's like you're there, and you see kind of like a flicker of kind of confusion across his face, as you kind of figure he was maybe sort of going about the last thing he did maybe when he died, and he was sort of reliving that, and not in like it was in sort of a peaceful way, but as you kind of interrupt that sort of repetitive process, he blinks a few times and looks at you, and now you're closer, you can kind of see, and now he sort of actually acknowledges you, kind of color sort of begins to return to his form, and it's still it's odd to look at because it very much still is, you're sort of looking at what isn't there, and it's like your brain is like putting it's kind of a lot of like mental gymnastics for your brain to be doing. It's sort of putting things together that like you maybe can't see and process, and it's sort of filling in the gaps, like maybe when you look at like an impressionist painting far away versus up close, and it's like it's just a bunch of dots, but then you kind of your brain is sort of figuring it out. And you see he's got sort of like long brown hair, tanned skin, and is wearing sort of like clothes kind of similar to Xana actually, sort of like, you know, there's maybe sort of, you know, ropes and stuff kind of strung across his like waist and things, and you see he actually like appears to be holding just sort of a sack of something, and he kind of blinks a few times and looks around, and says, "Hi." And it's kind of like a whisper almost, but again, it's like your brain is processing it when your ears can't, and it's like you kind of hear this whisper translate into thought and speech in your head.
Hi, friend. I'm Xana. Who are you?
Darren. And it kind of like he kind of has to reach for the name.
What do you do?
I think I'm a fisherman. And he kind of looks around and he's like, yeah, that makes sense. But not for a while.
Not for a while?
I think it's been a while since I've actually done any fishing. And he kind of looks like at the bag over his shoulder and sort of shakes his head as if trying to clear it a little bit.
What did you do instead of fish?
And you see, like, now he really frowns and says, I'm not sure. It just stopped.
Did something happen?
I think there was a storm, and then he kind of looks at himself and he's like, he doesn't look like someone that has drowned. And he kind of looks around and kind of says, yeah, I think there was a storm, but I don't think I was on the lake. I can't remember.
Are there any like obvious wounds or like?
Yeah, roll a
anything
medicine
that
check.
looks off? I don't have good medicine. 6.
No, you can't quite make anything out. And he is still kind of has that ripple effect to him, so it's quite difficult to make out.
Where are you going now?
I'm going home. We came in early because the winds were picking up, and I wanted to go check on my mum first because she lives on my own since my dad passed. And then he kind of frowns again. He's like, but I don't remember if I got there.
Is this home? Pensueno?
Yeah. I think I was going just a little way out to my mum's house. She lives like 5 minutes from me and my husband. And he's kind of like really concentrating here, like really trying to think. And then he kind of seems to lose his grasp and then comes back to the questions like, yeah, Pensueno's home.
Who's your mum? Who's your husband? Do you remember their names?
And you see he's like thinking and he closes his eyes and then he kind of looks like a bit, the confusion turns to distress almost. And he's like, Raphael. I can't remember.
Raphael?
Yes? Do you know him? He's probably worried.
This is so sad. She doesn't say that.
She's like, guys, this is fucking tragic.
Do you remember where your house is? Can you point it out?
He kind of looks around, he's like, that way. And he kind of puts south, like towards number 10 on the map, which is sort of like where the stables are. And he's like, that way, but a bit further on.
Anything distinctive about your house? Colour, door, anything like that?
When we moved in, we painted the door blue. I remember doing that. Took us a while because we bought, and he sees like a ghost of a shadow, like laugh kind of across. He's like, we bought the wrong paint and it washed off in the rain, so we did it again.
Xana will look at Alanis and Tokki. What do you guys think?
I think that your husband's probably waiting for you, so we won't take up any more of your time.
He nods.
But
he's like,
thank you for speaking with us.
Yeah, it was nice to meet you.
Yeah, it was good to meet you as well. And he kind of goes to say your names, but like, it's like it went one ear and out the other, and he's just forgotten, can't retain that. And kind of hefts his sack again and sort of picks up, going sort of in that southerly direction. Inside the tavern.
I am.
Oh, sorry, go for it, Tokki.
No, it was fine. It
You
was
sure?
nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inside the tavern, what are you three doing?
Well, Steph almost had a panic attack when you said Raph, and I'm like,
I saw that.
Wait, did I? Oh no! Oh God!
Saw it. Dawn on Steph's face.
Oh my God, no! I didn't even register that. I was like, in my head, I was like, it's the letter
How many
R.
men does Raph have?
Oh no!
It's gonna be a
He's
really
married
ugly
to a
backstory
fisherman.
drop.
Yeah. April's like, Lauren, you weren't meant to do it yet.
I got future men to reveal. Don't worry.
Oh my God.
How many
The rest of the
them are
campaign
there?
is just like, and another one.
And he's here tonight. Oh my God. No.
All the NPCs.
I see the BBEG and I'm like, wait, have we met before?
That's so funny.
Incredible.
Fantastic. But yeah, it's back in there. Steph or Wraith kind of feels like, you're like, oh, someone just walked over my grave. I've got shivers and I don't know why. But yeah, what are you three doing?
Wraith is probably, again, very attentive. Can I insight check Wrath to see if I can get a gauge on how my brother is feeling?
Yeah.
In this moment?
Of course, go for it. Go for it.
Cocked. Don't have my thing up because I'm a ninny. Insight. So 15.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just tell you how I am. I
Go
don't
for
want
it.
to hide
Okay,
anything.
cool. Didn't need to check in.
Should have just asked.
Initially terrified, was like, oh no, we're fucked. But then when everyone else seemed very relaxed, it's like, oh, okay. And then it's kind of slightly curious about the spirits.
Then seeing that sort of dawning curiosity, Wraith will just sort of turn her head back to her brother, but not whispering this time. And she'll say, you wish to go talk to them, don't you?
Please.
What?
They're friends.
Ghosts.
I mean, you can stay here. I just
Like
hear
I'm
the
going
voices.
to stay here. The inside ones or the outside ones?
Both.
Drink some more wine, let's go.
Let's go, okay. Sounds it.
Nice. Harvey, are you accompanying them as they stand up to go talk to dead people?
Prepare
Yes.
to join us. Let's go.
Yeah, I think Harvey will slam back his wine and join them if they're heading out.
Let's go talk to some ghost steers. Let's go.
Wraith will
Amazing.
drop the coins on the table.
Nice one. Excellent stuff. Cool. So you head out of the door. And it's getting a little bit darker now, still kind of in twilight, so you can still see. It's going to be light for the next sort of hour. And you guys head out, and these three aren't like in the middle anymore. They were like over by the docks. And you guys are here. Not that it matters, but I'm like, I drew the map, so I'm going to move the little people around. And as you step out, I'd say all three of you roll perception check.
I only perceive men.
22.
Stop it. I only
Sorry.
perceive men.
Rose of the night.
Yeah,
I love
section
running.
title.
I only perceive men.
Amazing.
Rachel's goal is to sleep with a ghost tonight.
Oh my god. I'm gonna put it past him.
I'll make it happen.
Oh man, amazing.
I'm
What
sorry,
did you...
Lauren. I'm sorry I'm doing this to you.
Dude, no, it's fucking funny. What did you get?
15.
Nice.
Snap! Oh no, I didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
No, I didn't. I got
almost.
13.
I was gonna say like,
No, I didn't.
yeah, you guys look around, and I'd say it doesn't take a whole lot of perception to notice the group talking to a ghost, down by the docks, which is like not very far from you guys at all. But Harvey, you are the one to notice them first. And do you see someone you recognise apart in this group?
Hell yeah. Harvey, I think as soon as Harvey clocks Alanis, he's off. That's his go. He's gone. He is running.
Alanis, you hear footsteps behind you running, and turn around.
Hi! Alanis, my love, how are you? And he will like take her by the shoulders immediately, and he's gonna look her over quickly, like he's checking if she looks like she's eating well, staying hydrated, sleeping well, if she's got any scuffs or bruises on her.
You look so fancy now.
Thank you. I got myself a new shirt. I was done with looking homeless.
Oh, so the money's going well?
No, not so well. But I've decided that I deserved a new shirt.
You did. 100%. I don't know when you got it, but you deserved it. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad it was an impulse, but a smart purchase.
Wraith's gonna just turn to Wrath and be like, how in the hell does everyone know each other in this town?
Literally, we're in the middle of nowhere.
As you say that, Wrath, over your sister's shoulder, you see someone you recognise.
I sprint off again.
Oh, for...
Another man, let's go.
Yeah, what you doing? You sprinted down to the docks.
I tackle the person I recognise.
Oh god.
Yeah. Tokki, you've been
Saints, I
busy.
should say.
You've been busy sort of like watching this ghost retreating, being like, that was really fucking sad. And then out of
so sad.
nowhere, you don't feel or see Wrath approaching, but someone tackles you, like near to the ground.
Ah! And I just grab my sword.
Oh!
It's not a fucking like ready battle.
Yeah, and I think I'm just like sword at the ready, and then I see it's Wrath, and I'm like, oh, and I sort of shove the sword behind my back, and I'm like, Wrath, hello.
Hi, how you been? It's been so long. I missed you. And hugs him again.
I hug him back very awkwardly, and I'm like, good. How are you? I met your sister.
Oh, great! Come over here. Oh, everyone knows each other.
She's kind of mean.
Oh, what
Grace
did she
hits the
say?
bird from behind her brother. She like leans out.
I think
I
I like her
turn around.
though.
Oh, it's fine. Everyone's gonna get along. It's fine. Wraith, what happened? Wraith, what happened?
Grace just side eyeing her brother.
Wraith, we'll talk about this later.
Wrath, this is Xana. Xana,
Hello.
Wrath,
Xana
Wraith's
shakes his
brother.
head. I've heard a lot about you already.
Oh
Your
no.
reputation precedes you.
Ah, I take a bow. Thank you.
Wraith will cock him from the back. His reputation precedes him everywhere,
Ah, yeah.
much to our detriment.
It's fascinating how similar you two are, while also being completely different.
Rat poses back to back with the sister.
Wraith
don't
just
mean
stands
me.
there. She's done posing.
Wrath's doing like Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
And Wraith is
Oh,
like,
head on. Doing Charlie's Angels. I'm like trying to encourage Wraith to mirror me. I'm like, come on.
Wraith's looking at her nails, picking them with a dagger.
Did you guys come out here to talk to the ghosts?
Yes. Have you talked to ghosts?
I did speak to the ghost. Yeah, they don't remember much. It was kind of a bummer.
Ah, dear. I suppose they are dead.
Yeah.
Huh.
Do any of you, I guess, addressing like anyone who's in the vicinity, like know anything about spirits? Like, is it normal for them not to remember what happened to them?
DM, is it normal for spirits to not remember?
Yeah, do
Yeah.
we know this?
I'd say, yeah, I won't make you roll. I'll say that it varies, sometimes depending on how they died. If it happened very quick, they won't really remember. If they died if they died a long time ago, their memories of their life start to fade. If it was more recent, they're a bit more chatty and they remember a little bit more. But across the board, unless you're talking to a spirit under very special conditions, it's hard to form a relationship with them and like have them remember new information.
Mixed bag. They don't like to make friends.
How do you know so much about spirits?
Oh, wouldn't you like to know?
So mysterious.
Wraith rolls her eyes.
What's Harvey doing watching this?
Harvey, I think Harvey's feeling a little bit slighted, but doesn't want to give it away. Harvey's tunnel vision focused on Alanis. Like he's listening out of one ear, but he's still on Alanis. And he's off the topic of spirits completely. And he goes, I got you a present. I saw something and I thought that you would like it. And he's going to pull from his pack. I don't have the full description, but it's a little seashell sculpture.
Oh,
And he will give it to Alanis.
I didn't get you anything.
No, you don't need to get me anything.
yeah, you see, Alanis, you're now holding, it's sort of like the size of your hand. It's quite large. It looks to be kind of like a delicate piece of artwork carved from a rare seashell. And like within it, through like carvings and paintings, there's this like underwater scene, which is like illuminated by sort of glow of kind of like small like bioluminescence almost. The carving kind of shows sort of like sea creatures, and actually like sea elves. Like you look up and you kind of see one in front of you, and you look back at the show and you're like, huh. And they kind of come to life as you look at it and almost dance, but like not figurines dancing. It's sort of like the longer you look at this artwork, it almost seems to move in like an arcane way. And they kind of appear to be like, the longer you look at it, it's like you also can hear the music they're dancing to. It's like the song of the ocean almost. And the longer you kind of look at it and study it, like you can kind of hear whispers of the sea within it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I holded it very carefully.
Yes. Well, it hasn't broken in my bag yet, but maybe be careful.
I'm not gonna take a risk. Why are you here? Not that I'm not happy to see you, but why are you here?
I'm you know me, I'm just passing through. I'm hoping to find something in the market, but this weird little town only has a market once a week. So I'm waiting for that. What are you doing here?
Oh, you know, still searching. Nothing out in the country, so I thought I'd come back to the towns and
So you've not
see
had
if
any
it
luck
made-
yet?
No. Lots of farming going on here. Not super useful for
Yeah.
nomads.
There's not a lot happening in this country.
Can Wraith have been listening into that conversation?
Ooh, roll me like perception check, I guess, actually, for sort of listening in.
15.
Yeah, I'd say, you know, if you kind of zone out, and you probably can overhear it. They're not sort of talking quietly. They're excited to see each other or anything. So actually, they're probably talking kind of loud. And you're all kind of in the same group, so yeah, you can hear it. And you're used to sort of filtering out other conversations and zoning in on particular ones.
Nice. In which case, Wraith's going to comment on that last comment. If there's nothing in these small towns anyway, Wraith's going to say, well, except for dead bodies and ghosts, but they tend to be everywhere these days.
Yes. Yeah. Apart from the dead bodies and the ghosts.
Have you seen ghosts before? I've never seen ghosts before.
I haven't seen ghosts before. Wraith, I generally get the feeling that you have seen ghosts before.
I have seen ghosts before. Where my brother goes, they tend to follow.
Creepy.
Creepy.
I wasn't sure we're talking about
Oh god.
actual ghosts or metaphorical ones.
Neither was Tokki, but he was like, I'm not going to rise to it. I'm not going to rise to it.
I thought that was Xana speaking, not me.
Yeah. Toki's like counting to 10. Who's not spoken to each other yet? Who's not spoken to each other? Do you guys need to do introductions in game? What's going on?
I don't think Tokki and Xana have met Javi yet.
No, we simply have not been introduced.
Someone can speak.
So Wraith will just sort of glance up at you guys awkwardly, looking at each other like, and allow me to do the honors. Tokki, Javi, Tokki, lover of brother, lover of brother.
Oh.
Xana, friend of Tokki, Javi, my brother, Wrath.
I would not describe myself in that way.
No, he's more than that, Tokki. I'm sorry.
Xana's like, you tell him.
I apologize on behalf of my sister.
Completely.
I told you she's kind of mean.
What was that, Wraith? Why did you say that? Frontal on you.
Javi will hold out his hand to shake Toki's hand and shake Xana's hand.
Tokki will shake his hand.
Xana shakes his hand. I liked your gift that you gave your friend. Really beautiful.
Thank you. It's I'm hoping it does not break.
I'm sure she would want to take good care of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
we're good.
did you spoke to the ghost? Did you get anything from him?
No, he didn't seem to remember much of his life. He just seemed to be a fisherman. I think maybe he drowned in a storm. He didn't know he was dead, so didn't really want to be the one to break that news to him.
He did have family mentioned. A mum and a husband, so don't know if they are still alive. I don't know enough about spirits to know if it's a good idea to let them know that spirit is here, if there's something they can do to help. Seems like some of you might be more of an expert on spirits.
Harvey will pointedly turn to Wrath and Wraith and say, I think you are experts on spirits.
Sorry, what would you like me to do?
Do you have any idea what's going on?
No.
Or if we can help this fisherman?
How would you like me to help the fisherman?
Do you think it's
Sorry, I know I'm captivating to look at. It's okay.
we can't see you right now.
I'm talking as a rat.
I
know.
The fisherman mentioned leaving behind family potentially.
Oh.
Do you have any experience with like connecting family members with?
I'm not
their
really
spirits
a
or
long lost family connecting service, I would say.
Wraith snort. That was a Wraith snort, not me.
It's more the other end of the spectrum, I won't lie to you.
What's the other end of the spectrum?
I do small favors for people.
Family disconnecting service.
Mm-hmm.
Sever those ties.
Burn those bridges.
I kill them. No.
Well, I think I'm going to maybe try to look for this house that Spirit mentioned.
I'm happy to
If
help,
anyone
but
wants to.
Maybe we can become a family connecting service.
I mean, Wraith, there's probably a lot of money in this. Okay, we could
Yes,
expand.
The poor fisherman family would love to give us loads of gold to tell them that their ghost partner has come back from the dead. Oh wait, they haven't come back. They're just dead.
I mean,
I'm sure they'll give us so much gold for this, darling.
I mean,
so much.
We could charge per minute, I suppose. I don't know.
Rape's just good for her face in her hand. And yeah.
Well, where is this ghostly fisherman? Do you have any details of where the family is?
We know it was towards the south.
Wonderful. Which way is that?
Near the stables.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that his door, the door of the house, is painted blue. And his husband's name is probably Raphael.
A wonderful name. I wonder if he's still single. Moving on.
Might be a little soon for that.
No, I was joking. It was in poor taste. Don't worry.
Depends how long he's been dead.
No.
It's true.
Well, let's go.
As you're sort of like pondering this, starting a new business partners, what? You hear a shout from the northern end of town, and it's, you know, there were kind of noises and stuff, there's people around, but this is a shout that immediately pricks up all of your ears, as someone needs help. And then another voice kind of joins it, and you look around, and before you see anyone, you hear kind of, help, we need some help over here. And you see a group of 4 running into town, except only 3 of them are running. And one is appeared to be sort of like unconscious and being sort of half dragged, half carried in. And they sort of are coming in for sort of like over here, like following this path, sort of coming kind of from the cemetery way. And you all look around, and you see this is very obviously like an adventuring party. There's kind of like a half orc, a halfling, a kobold, and a human, and you kind of looking at them, can very quickly tell that something is very wrong with the human.
Tokki's sprinting straight over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you all kind of get there, you see that all of them are covered in like grime and dirt and blood as well, especially the human. The human looks pale faced, like eyes kind of fluttering, and keeps kind of every now and then will moan and then kind of go unconscious. And their friends, the kind of the monk and the kobold kind of seem to be doing their best, like even though they're kind of no, actually I'll say the half orc probably is kind of carrying this person in. And as you kind of run over, the half orc, she's kind of wearing this like blazing armor, except it's like covered in, like I say, like mud and grime. Her face, she's got like a huge scratch down one side of her face, which is like weeping blood. And she looks at you running in, and she's like, help, please help, can you help?
Xana just goes straight to the human and like puts her hands on him and like her, I don't know.
Yes, the human is he.
Okay. And does he look like seriously injured?
He does, yeah. You can see he's wearing sort of like these robes, doesn't appear to have any sort of like weapons or anything on him, just sort of a pouch on a belt at his side. And his robe is sort of like ripped apart into shreds, and you can see these deep cuts all along one side of him that is just sort of, it's like very grim.
She'll just cast Cure Wounds on him.
Nice one, awesome. How much healing does that do?
1d8 plus
Nice
4.
one.
That's 7.
Nice one, amazing. Incredible. So the half orc kind of blinks as you do this, and like mutters something to someone, kind of like sending a prayer up as you do it almost. And the human, you see like the wounds in his side almost knit back together. And what does it kind of look like when Xana casts a healing spell?
Oh god, I haven't thought about that. I guess she just opens her mouth and like sings. And it's like a kind of humming melody, and as she's singing, this like bluish light comes out of her mouth and then like weaves itself around the wound and starts the flesh starts stitching back together.
Yeah, definitely. And you see as well there appear to be some sort of infection or something that your blue light seems to be kind of chasing away. And as you kind of have your hands on him, you can feel he's very clammy, but like heat begins to return to his body. And you see like the kobold and the halfling, were kind of like looking over your shoulder, and they like sag with relief, as the human kind of like goes like still, but in sort of a restful way. Like eyes flicker open for a second, but then passes out again. But this time maybe from like exhaustion or just, the body needs time asleep, to recover from this, even though the physical wounds have been healed.
What happened to him?
Go for it.
Sorry.
No. Yeah, the half orc sort of like jostles the human, and she kind of looks around, and in answer to your question, the halfling kind of steps up, and the halfling, they are wearing sort of like, again, kind of robes, but they look very like closely tied to their body, sort of like in oranges and yellows, tied with a scarf around their waist, and they've got sort of like thick muscle kind of going up their arms, and the halfling kind of looks at you, and says, we were out in the marsh, and I mean, we had a lantern with one of those candles, but it got broken, and we were helping out the sisters. It just went wrong. We got overwhelmed. I had to run. We were all tapped.
Helping the sisters do what?
Well, and they kind of look around and they're like, well, I mean, we were heading there for health and healing anyway. If you wanted to come with, we can explain on the way. It's just across the river over there.
Sure, we'll come with you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone looking like they're coming with.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. As you're kind of walking, the kobold will kind of like hang back, and they look like someone that hasn't been hurt as much, but still very weary. And she has, kind of similar to Alanis, actually, like a bow strung over her back. But like you see, she has kind of a quiver of arrows, but she hasn't got any arrows left. Like this very much looks like a party that ran into a fight they couldn't handle and were just out of everything and had to flee. And the kobold will sort of like skirt sort of like 30 feet away, kind of like keeping an eye out, basically like guarding and scouting, as you make your way to the temple, while the halfling says, to you, Xana, will kind of like grab your hand and say thank you for that. My name is Zensa. This is Justice to the half orc. This is Kiratir. Aggie is our ranger, and then Othar has seen better days. I'll put in the chat those names and stuff. And
Of course, it was the least I could do.
Thank you. I don't know how long you've been in town, and kind of looks you over and says, "Are you doing work for the sisters as well?"
No, I wasn't aware that. I don't think I am aware, am I? I wasn't aware that there was work to be done.
Well, I mean,
To be honest,
they get a fair amount of travelers coming through here, and they give out, to parties, adventuring parties, mercenaries. They give out the odd job. Sorry, I maybe shouldn't have assumed you looked like the kind of the traveling group, but no, they especially with the
we
spirits.
just met.
Oh, fair enough. Well, and they kind of run a hand through their hair, and then you see they sort of have sort of like a half-shaved head situation with sort of like floppy hair going over one side, and they kind of run a hand through that, and they're like, well, I mean, the sisters have been asking people to go out and help spirits who need it move on. The spirits in town seem to be a bit friendlier, but a bit further out, they're a little bit more dangerous, and the sisters have been paying people to go and help with that, and we ran into a few that were on the much more dangerous side. I mean, we didn't even really make it to the spirits, to be fair. We were chased off of where they were.
So spirits did this to you?
Not exactly. And you see now they sort of rub their neck, like sort of, there were some crabs.
Crabs.
Crabs?
kind of little orange guys. Yeah, as Alanis does it, he's like, "You get it."
Xana's
Or they're
eyebrows are like in her hairline.
yeah, they're sort of like looking around, and they're like, we were looking after these spirits, looking to find these spirits who were lost in Lake Takada, but before we could even, we told their bodies would be on the wreck of the ship, and we went to explore, but there were no bodies there, and instead we were swarmed by hundreds, thousands, and the orc cuts in and is like, dozens at the most of crabs.
Big crabs or regular sized crabs?
The half orc now sort of takes over, and like she kind of you see maybe when they were running hadn't had time to probably like put all their weapons away, and she'd been like tightening her armor while you were talking, and now she kind of like walking with a hand on the pommel of her sword, says there are a few that were quite large, probably looks you up and down, talking, says probably about the size of you, and then there were some that moved in a swarm, but we just weren't expecting it, and we'd sent Othar, and points to the man in the arms, in to kind of see if he could detect anything, and they swarmed him, and well, I don't know if you've ever met a wizard, but they don't do well in hand-to-hand combat.
No, they really don't.
Stop
She
Penny
looks.
from trying.
Anyone's a sorcerer.
But yeah, looks at you and says, you see what I'm talking about then. Yeah, and she kind of looks down at Othar kind of fondly. And you see Othar seems to be quite a bit older than the rest of the group, kind of more sort of like 40s, like not an old man, but like old for an adventurer. And like hair sort of seems to be kind of growing a little bit, maybe a little bit prematurely for the line of work he's in. And still unconscious in her arms. And by the time you've been talking, you've kind of made it now to the temple of Santa Perdita, and you kind of cross the kind of bridge causeway that kind of leads onto it, and it's like a very simple building. It's kind of in a sort of a T shape, and the front long section is sort of this like open porch kind of, and it's made from like kind of this dark wood, with a sort of stone based foundation, and kind of columns holding up this sort of open porchway, where kind of there's candles lit all the way along it, those blue flame candles, and then beyond it there are some doors that lead to kind of the enclosed portion of the temple, and as you kind of walk up the steps towards the temple, you note that kind of there's engravings in the wood of kind of leaves and mushrooms, and kind of engravings of graves, and these things kind of denote Santa Perdita, who, like I said earlier, is kind of known for being, helping people move on, honouring the sort of natural passing of death and that moment of death, but then also decay and disease, and accepting that these things happen naturally, but stopping them when they happen unnaturally. And as the other party make their way, the injured party make their way up the stairs, the doors fling open, and a gnome, a gnomish woman in robes kind of rushes out, and Tokki, you recognize her as Sister Morel, and she kind of puts her hand to her chest, and she's like, by the saints, and kind of will help everyone move inside, and says, we have an area for healing just a little bit back. Is everyone okay? And Kamwood will check over, and sees there's like 10 of you entering this temple, and she's like, did you all go out together? Are you all hurt?
No.
We were lucky enough not to be part of that whole situation.
We were lucky not to meet the crabs.
The crabs. We can talk about it later. Let's get some help. And she kind of calls over some other sisters, some that have been sort of talking to a few people sat on stone pews, and takes you kind of all of you. She's like, the room isn't quite big enough for all 10. I sorry, I think some of you might have to wait outside. And she kind of opens a door, and it kind of just looks to be sort of like medical sort of style room. Like there is a bed, there's a few beds, and Morel kind of starts sort of washing her hands, and says, if some of you need to be here, that's fine. The rest of you, maybe we can talk a little bit later. And she kind of looks towards sort of, the other party, saying, kind of inviting them in, but seeing if you guys want to come as well, or...
I think I'll give them some space.
Yeah, we can talk later. Look after your friend.
Okay.
And then Xana says to Tokki as they're going out, like very quietly, can always do some sleeping while we wait.
I like the way you think.
Nice. So yeah, the door kind of closes behind, and you kind of look down, and Xana, like where you'd kind of like touch the human, or Otha, your hands as well are kind of now grimy and kind of covered in a bit of blood. And you kind of look around, and some people had looked up at this like rush of people entering the temple, and now you kind of look around, you see it's like kind of reasonably full. It seems like maybe quite a few people in town came here specifically like as twilight. Maybe there's like a twilight service that's been happening, considering things that have been going on in the town where they light the candles. And some people are kind of looking at you, but most kind of, were raised well enough to know to kind of avert their eyes, and give you some privacy in this moment.
I cast prestidigitation. Like, clean off my hands a little bit.
Nice one, a little bit.
Clean up a little.
Love it. So you wave your hands, this blue light kind of surrounds your hands and then kind of turns to water almost and washes your hands off. And you still feel kind of grimy, but for now, it's definitely gotten the worst off. What you guys doing?
Well, we've got some time to kill. What do you think we should do with it?
No, I don't feel like we're really that needed here. Kind of
I'm still
interested
very confused by this with the crabs.
Right? Like, I don't want to be rude, but crabs aren't that scary.
Crabs from my island have never done anything.
I feel like I
that.
could take a crab, but then he did say that the crab
I
was
think
the
you could take
size
a
of
crab,
me.
Tokki. I think so too.
Wraith snickers from the back.
I feel like I could take a crab, I could take a tiefling, I could take anything.
Yes.
Tokki's like, you got something to fucking say to me.
Say it to my face.
Session 1, there's already beef.
Session 1 PvP. Yeah, I don't know what the rest of our new friends think, but do we want to stay here? Do we want to go investigate? Do we want to go home?
I kind of really want to see the crab. I have to know how big this crab is.
I also want to see the crab.
I respect that curiosity. I am also curious.
Wrath, you want to come see a crab?
Absolutely. Have we seen crabs before, sister?
We ate them. Why am I doing an accent?
Oh.
I believe we ate them with the Strodomo clan.
Oh, what is a crab?
The orange crawly things.
Ah, yes.
Xana's like, do you always rely on her to be your memory bank?
Pretty much, yes.
This is so interesting. It's just a whole new sibling dynamic that I'm seeing here.
She's my better half, it's okay.
No.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Cute.
But she has
Crab!
an arm around him.
So just to reiterate, we're going to go back to where that party just barely survived coming back from.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the plan?
Well, there was 4 of them, and there's 6 of us, so...
Good maths.
Amazing. So as you guys refer to yourselves as us for the first time, we'll leave it there for tonight. What happened?
So that
I
was
made
just
noise.
Wraith
Wraith
does
disgust at
not
the
want to be a
concept of
Ray
tar.
doesn't like people. Excellent. But yes, as you kind of make these plans, you're like, yeah, we can take a fucking crab. How big and scary can a crab be? We will leave it there for tonight. Wrapping up session 1. And yeah, we'll pick it up again next week at 7:30 next week.
Sorry, Wraith's so mean right now, guys. I love you.
I love her.
all good.
So
An
scared of
iconic
her.
character. Very
I
intimidating.
love her. I'm gonna hit her.
I'm sorry, my character's a straight up arsehole.
No,
real.
I don't
love
get
him
that at all.
too.
I don't get
Oh,
asshole
yeah.
vibes at all. I'm obsessed.
Mine is.
I'm like,
He was way nicer to me
fabulous.
than I was expecting.
I sound like a fuck boy. This ain't what I
Embrace it,
planned.
babe.
You can be an ethical fuckboy. It's okay.
Then you were like, love us and my brother, love us and my brother. I was like, no!
Well, if
So
it wanted
weird.
to be a secret, you should have
She's
had less.
They've known each other for 5 minutes and Harvey's heart is literally broken.
Oh
I
no!
do
Toki's
so
like,
much
Tommy seems like
traveling.
such a sweetie.
yeah, sunshine baby. He's like, am I a
Oh,
home
so-
wrecker? Is Toki the other woman? I love it. What great
I think
dynamics.
Toki's like not even really registered.
No.
Toki's like race doesn't
No.
listen shit. Like
I
don't-
love that for Toki. I love it.
Excellent. Amazing. Well, thank you
I'm
very much.
very sorry if Xana is talking too much.
No.
I'm like the opposite character to what I played last campaign, so I'm like trying to lean into it, but
Anti-built,
definitely
yeah.
don't want to take other people's spotlight. Like, please do interrupt
No,
me.
be the face of the party.
New face, let's go.
I love her. I
I
feel
want
like
multiple faces.
I think she's so cool.
she
Oh,
is.
I
Having done my
know.
session 0 with Alanis as well, Alanis and Xana together are going to be unstoppable.
Oh.
Nature babes.
That's so true. You're like, we're gonna
Cute.
fucking solve climate change.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Oh, good. Well, I had fun. Thank you very much, everybody.
I had
can't wait
so
for
much
next
fun.
Thank
week.
you, Lauren.
Thank you,
I'm
Lauren.
so
Yeah, thank you,
excited.
Lauren. Thank you.
Awesome. Legend. So
Are we
yeah,
saying next week?
I think we are.
Lovely. So,
Everyone's around.
Don't worry.
you better. You've got so much work to
I
do to
know.
fix this mess.
Harvey's like, you gotta buy me so many presents.
At least 2 new shirts.
Harvey was like, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. This is it. Wraith immediately threw a spanner in the works.
Oh,
Oh, no.
sorry.
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
Oh, so excellent.
I want to give Harvey a hug. I don't even know him.
I feel
Please
so
don't.
bad.
Bless him.
Me too, but he wouldn't accept one from me right now. It's fine.
I can see you right now, the boy.
Oh, this is great. I like I'm watching a soap opera. Just sit back and I'm like, enjoy the
That's
drama.
how I felt
Yeah.
for like every scene with Wraith, Wrath, and Harvey in. I was literally like, I feel like this is a soap opera and I'm just here with the popcorn.
Good. Amazing.
Came for the vibes, stayed for the drama.
Iconic drama.
Oh, fantastic.
Also,
Amazing.
love your accent, Eleanor. That is
Thank you.
Yes.
It's
So
it is
good.
Great
so
accent.
far away from
So
where it needs to be. I've been talking to myself in a voice all day, and I was like, I've got it. And then I did a completely different voice.
No, I love
today.
it. I love
It's
it.
great though.
We'll get that.
It's
Thank
like
you.
the perfect
So
level
good.
of subtle. It doesn't feel forced.
No,
Oh,
no,
thank you.
exactly, yeah.
That's good because I don't want to come and sound like Mario. That was my main.
You don't sound like Mario.
Iconic. No, I chickened out. I was like, everyone's here kind of meant to be Spanish, but I'm like, no. And then
Oh.
Dava actually was meant to have an accent, and I was like, I forgot.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
god,
thought
me
about-
frantically looking at my family tree, like who the fuck is this?
It's like, what's your fucking name?
Why did I put so many rabbits on this thing?
Scrolling for ages trying to find the top of the family tree.
Oh, excellent.
I thought about
Cool.
doing an accent. I was gonna do like Valley Girl, but then I was like, I don't know if that fits her character or not.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know if I could concentrate on role playing and do an accent. So
To be fair, you carried an accent all through the last campaign.
You did.
did I?
Yeah.
Ophelia didn't talk that much, to be fair.
That's
He was very good, but he was not
I
the
think
face
it's
of the
because
party.
he didn't talk.
When
Like
Vilya
if I have
spoke,
to
it
think
was
of what to
Russian.
say, I can't also think of he was like a nondescript country around that area. But like yeah.
Love
I
it.
think you could do it if you wanted, though.
Do it.
Think
You
about
can
it.
always
Homework
drop
for
it.
next week. Everyone needs to come back with a
Maybe
voice.
next week I'll be like
We'll come back with
"Surprise!"
accents.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's an accent, sometimes there's no
It's
accent.
very
Depends
disorienting
on
to be the only one with an accent. So
Oh.
feel free.
For you, Eleanor, I will
Yeah.
try. I
Oh,
will try and do an accent. It might only last for one episode.
That's fine. I support you.
Previously on Building Family Ties.
That's the party name.
Oh yeah, we need a session title. Actually, we didn't do this, so I mean, Izzy knows what we did for the other campaigns, but we didn't do it for Xeraxis actually. So session title for session 1.
I didn't note anything down.
Kind of want
Someone
something
said
to do with
something
the
really
crabs.
funny and I forgot.
Blue candles and brother lovers.
Oh my
it
god.
was like the only thing I wrote down was brother lover.
That's
Not saying that.
fantastic.
Brother lovers.
Brother lovers,
Brother
let's do it.
lover, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
pain.
Brother
Steve's
lover.
pain. Ay,
Amazing. The scribe
no,
following
we
you down
tried.
writes that. And just Wrath cringes.
Oh, he deserves it. He deserves it. Some punishment.
No. Amazing. Cool. Well, we'll pick up next week and we'll go and find out what the fuck these crabs are on.
Hell
and what the fuck they've
yeah.
got to do with ghosts. Excellent. Cool. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely week.
You too.
Thank you, Lauren. Have a good week, guys.
Cool.
Have a good
So
weekend.
fun.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.